Why do you marvel at such simplicity? A calm voice says, coming from both within and outside. Is this fleeting glimpse of life you see before you really worth the gaze? The viewer nods, smiling once more upon the creation of ancients. This world has been corrupted. It no longer has its original form, the voice says. The viewer speaks. Nevertheless, it is good to the eyes and the senses. Nothing more beautiful is there than existence itself. If I took your eyes and senses, what then would be beautiful? The voice says back to them. The viewer is troubled at what the voice said, but answers regardless. Surely existence does not rely on beauty alone. Beauty is an observation and an opinion of the viewer. Existence continues regardless of opinion. If you took my eyes and senses, I would merely need to find the beauty, and not the observation of existence, but the act of existing itself. The voice is silent a moment, and then tells the viewer, the path you walk has been walked before, but with you new probabilities arise. Enjoy this beauty you speak of while you can, for your true trials lay not in the path behind, but the path ahead. Not long after these words, the light is replaced by darkness and the living by the dead. The viewer understands a glimpse of everything, but the magnitude of the truth to it all eludes the viewer's comprehension. The time of understanding will arise, but that time is not now. The gears of existence turn on towards a future predetermined in the past, but altered in the present. A future that spells doom for old creations and a renewed hope for the creations anew. And what is this but one part of the cycle, a shift from one state to another, and thus reality is refined. Rev finds himself in a bar, smoke thickly compressed in the low-light atmosphere, a smell of Zanks in the air. His nostrils flare in both disgust and a hint of longing as he lifts his interwoven glass filled with the liquid G to his lips. Its pearlescent color trickled over his tongue, the heat from his mouth activating the molecules of trapped Zanks and converting them into the gaseous state in a perfect time for easing down his trachea. Once released, it administers a heightened sense of wonder deep within the soul, easing the drinker into a state of heightened sensitivity, but in a calmed and lightened control. There was no need for the others to burn their lungs by smoking the Zanks, but he understood their longing for their old ways, as he himself did in his own ways. Something was wrong this time, he could tell. There was something not well, a curse or perhaps a spell, a doom for whom only time could tell. Rev held his stomach in his hands, perceiving it outside of his body. He rotates it around. It is then back inside him. He clutches his stomach. Is this a dream or is this hell? He sees a change around him then, and perhaps never again to visit the low-lit hallway. He realizes he may have to look around one final time before it fades away. But too late, it seems, as the world around him shifts to a new realm. This one is sunset on a hill, quite fair, with trees of mystical proportions and a flower-filled meadow down below. Sadness hits him at the same time that he is bathed in the warm glow from the setting sun. It comforted him somewhat to be in that glow, but soon it fades from view as he stands still upon the side of the hill. How long have I stood here? He wonders to himself as he gazes around. A white mist begins to arise from the vegetation around him, obscuring his sight at a distance of 13 feet. A strange call cries out from the darkness as the creatures of the night begin to awake. What world is this? Rev wonders, trying not to think of certain possibilities where no being, no matter how powerful, would want to be. He hears the footsteps of someone walking towards him in the woods. He looks towards the approaching sounds. They get closer until they see him right next to him. Then the footsteps stop. He listens but hears no more. Dismissing them as imagination, he continues on. A few moments later, he hears footsteps crunching in the fallen orange leaves. He stops. The footsteps get closer. Suddenly, the footsteps begin to run towards him, sounding as if coming from all sides. He turns quickly to looking around, but he can see nothing. A screaming face suddenly appears, inches away from his eyes, blood spraying over him. Hands grab his skull and begin to crush it. Terror sinks into his inner depths as the apparition sinks his teeth into his face. He finds himself alone, the assaulter having apparently vanished into thin air. He lifts his fingers up to his face where his fingertips brush against the oozing teeth marks gouged into his flesh. Footsteps begin coming towards him again. "Be gone, demon!" he shouts into the wooden night. "Leave me be, and I shall be on my way!" A quiet, scratchy voice whispers behind him.
"I am so very hungry, though. I have no wish for you to leave."
Rev looks behind him but sees no creature there. Then fingers not of his own curl around his throat, lifting him from the ground and squeezing tighter and tighter. As his last breath is about to escape his lips, he falls to his knees on the ground, his own hands around his throat, and releases himself, gasping for precious air. A whirlwind of energy moves between the trees in the distance, moving closer towards him as glowing purple lightning arcs out from it, and leaving cloud tendrils of plasma in its wake. It is upon him before he realizes it, as he still gasps for air. Unfortunately, this time he gets a large gulp of whatever the strange energy cloud was. His insides felt like they were going to explode. Screaming until he can't scream anymore, he finally blacks out.